It's Wednesday. It's 11 o'clock. It must be time for me to talk to you. This is fantastic. I've got a great topic today. I'm hoping that a bunch of you will pop in here today and join me here. Imagine a networking event. Is your skin crawling already? Do you feel kind of icky and queasy about going into those things? What happens when you go into a networking event? What's the thing you hear all the time? Owen, what do you do for a living? Gee, you just set yourself apart right there. If you ask that question, you're killing your business. If you answer that question, you're killing your business. Usually. We'll talk about that. If anybody has anything here they want to talk about today, get in here now. It's joinraylive.com. I specifically want to talk about things that you say right up front that lose people, that do you no favor. Also talk about things that would make it better and easier right here. How you can't lose a sale at, you can't win a sale at hello, but your hellos can quickly turn into goodbyes with people. If you say the same thing they've heard from everybody else, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So if you've got questions about these things, put them in the chat, put them in the comments. If you see this later, I'll answer them separately offline with that. If you want to come on in and ask the questions, we can go back and forth with that. What do you do for a living? Oh my God. Is that not the worst question you can ever ask? Is there a good way to answer it? Well, really, what's the goal? Here's the thing about business communication. You really need to think about, what do you want the audience to do? What do you want the client to do after you've done asking a question? What's the end goal of your communication? Because there's only one reason to speak. JFK said it, is to change the world. Now, that sounds lofty, especially coming from a past president. But if I tell you something here today, my goal today is to make it easier for you to have a conversation with a potential client tomorrow. And if I can do that, then I've hit my goal, right? So my goal is to change the world for you just a little bit, to make it easier for you to sell to your clients, to make it easier for you to connect to your clients right here. And the things that get in the way are the same questions. How are you today? Good morning. How are you today? I hope this finds you well. All the different types of communications we have, those are the things that immediately click, off they go. You're no longer considered. Anything that's interesting. So for example, what I would think about who you'd like to work with, who you would hire to work with. And the first thing about this is, do not ask questions right off the bat, make a statement. And the way you ask a question by making a statement is saying, I have a crazy question. I have the craziest question. And when you do that, people say, really? Tell me more, right? And then the question comes out. So for example, if I was going to hire somebody to work with me, I want somebody who isn't afraid to try things, who isn't afraid to force me down the road of things that not afraid to try things. So it's incredible to ask, I have a crazy question. Do you have a growth mindset? And then just shut up. Like, well, what's a growth mindset? And to me, a growth mindset is somebody that has dedication to experimentation and implementation. They do not fear failure. They learn from challenges and failure. They have what I call, get ready for roll the drums. This is a beautiful one. The brilliance of resilience. That is a fantastic phrase right there. The brilliance of resilience. And that's really what I'm looking for in people I work with. Because when you work with somebody, do you want someone that is polite and looks up to you and puts you on a pedestal? Or do you want someone that's extremely confident and they're comfortable with what they do and how they say, and they know that what they do is great? That's what I'm looking for, is that. Now, all rules are there to be broken. And once you know the rules, it's okay to break them. But I'm just giving you a general set of guidelines that I think. So when you meet somebody, you want them to affect the change after you talk to them. That's what the conversation is for. So don't just throw out random things. Have a plan ahead of time. Sit down and write these things out ahead of time. And it doesn't really matter what you say. It's the confidence, it's the intensity of your presence that they're really after. That's what draws them in initially. Really tell me more. That's a great goal out of any first line of conversation. Really tell me more. Let me take some of these things off here. And again, it's Join Ray Live. If you want to come in, I've created my whole life and my whole brand about being acceptably unusual. That is something that is what I come across as. I don't do things the same as everybody else, but I'm not so far out that people go, this guy is insane. And that's the key. Every breakthrough innovation, every breakthrough idea is different than the other one. And when I speak, if I hear myself saying something that I've heard other people say before, I immediately think, oh my God, how can I take it, make it my own? How can I American Idolize this? Let's take what that song said and make it your own. That's what gets you noticed. That's what wins with these things. So becoming acceptably unusual, making statements, not asking questions when you meet people. That gives you the familiarity of friendship, because all you're looking to do is show people, when you're a coach and when you're a speaker, you're trying to show people your message and your personality, and then let them decide whether they want to buy that or not. If you give yourself the opportunity to showcase your personality, you will sell more. Watch the Shark Tank, watch them fall in love with people, but not their companies. And invariably, once a show, somebody buys into somebody because of who they are, not because of what they're selling. And that's really a big piece of this, because there's nothing new under the sun. You have to figure out how to stand out. If you waste the prime real estate of your conversation at a networking event, which is the very first line, that's what causes them to listen or look over and see what hors d'oeuvres are being served. And if you can crack that wall of what they've heard before with any sort of statement, things that you shouldn't do is, oh, I don't really believe in myself, but it pays the bills. You want to know what not to say at a networking event? Go to a restaurant and sit next to where the servers come up to the bartender and listen to them complain about life. Now, there's going to be some very positive people that do a great job with that, but invariably something comes up about somebody's life being horrible. And you can't do that. People don't want, there's not a charismatic person in the world that's negative. Oh my God, this is so bad. It's not going to work. Find hope and walk toward that hope. See the holes in the wall that in front of you. Teach your eyes to see before the wall in front of me, and jump over it and get going with that. So create something new and innovation and curiosity. Use curiosity, relevance, and specificity. Those three words are going to come up in every conversation I have: curiosity, relevance, and specificity. I want you to lean in and go, really, tell me more. Wow, that's interesting. How do you do that? So when you meet somebody, getting that initial, really, tell me more. That's the whole goal of that first sentence. Whatever it is that pops their eyes open, thinking, wow, it's as if you're speaking just to me and you understand my problem. Because the better you understand their problem, and actually really the better you can explain their problem to them, if you explain it to them better than they feel it, then they know you can solve it. And then they know that you're the type of person that they would hire. So what is in that conversation? Now, that's going to depend on industry to industry and person to person there. I'm more than happy to hop on with you now if you've got things that you say to people. Your blurb to people should be no more than 10 words. And it should be as curious as heck, specific, relevant to what they do. And that's what creates that lean in factor. That's what creates the you being acceptably unusual. That's how you will open conversations about selling with companies rather than close the door, because they're just going to put the wall up, put the wall up, put the wall up. They get approached by people like us all the time. And your attitude, your growth mindset, if you get rejected in that, rejection is simply redirection. And take that and say, how else am I going to get in? Isn't that interesting? They didn't like that approach. I wonder what one they will like. And what they will like is when a friend comes up and starts a conversation. Friends don't start conversations by saying, good morning, how are you today? They start conversations by, does it look like, do you have a light on that tree back there? It looks like it's kind of light. No, that's just natural sunlight, but thanks for noticing, right? If you are speaking directly to them, as if you already know them, you will have a second chance to make a mistake where the other person will lose out on the very first mistake. The wall goes up, closed door, knock, knock, knock. Oh, it's that crazy person again. I mean, think about think about the Sunday mornings or other times when you've seen somebody walking up to your doorway and you know exactly who they are and what they're going to say once you open that door, and you hide in your own living room as if you're in a bunker in like some world war. I don't want them to know I'm here, right? So those are the walls that people put up, and you can break them down by having comfortable conversations. You don't need credentials, you don't need certifications. You need conversations, and don't blow it up front. That's the key message today. Do not blow this up front. If you have questions or comments, put it in the chat. I will answer them for you. If you'd like to come on in here and go over some things live with what you got, that would be great too. Don't downplay how fantastic you are. I've heard so many people, well, I have no idea what I'm doing, but people seem to buy into it. If I've got a corporation, I want to trust my millions with you. There's something I want to hear. Confidence is an attractive quality in a business. It's an attractive quality in a human being. It's something that people flock to. All charismatic people are confident. They have great conversation. They have humorous insights, and they have influence wrapped in a little bit of childlike awe and wonder, and held on to a string by a little bit of genuine concern for others. And that's what creates charismatic people. An unwavering language of positivity is also part of that. And these are things, the good news is all those things can be learned. All those things can be learned. And it's something that if you work one-on-one with people and do that, and you find people with growth mindsets and work with only those people, that's what you want to pick and choose your customers. And these are the things that you can do once you get this language of friendship down, this familiarity of friendship. Once you get that down, that's where some magic happens, and that's where you can get inroads. Because people always talk about, oh, are you B2B or B2C, right? Well, I'm H to H. I'm human to human, because every sale is a human buying from a human in one way, shape, or form. Yeah, there's layers and layers and layers in a corporation, but you start unpeeling those layers from person to person to person. So you want to know who the decision maker is, but if you raise a fuss about talking to the decision maker right away by saying, look, you're not important enough for me to have a conversation with you, you just lost a corporation that could have been your perfect customer. So remember, everything you're sending out is sent to a person. And the 3 steps of sending a communication to somebody, be it verbal, be it virtual, be it in person, be it email, be it letter, whatever it is, you want to understand in your head what it's trying to accomplish in 10 words or less. What do you want the outcome to be of this conversation? What are they going to do based on this? Is it book a call? Is it open up and get your pamphlet? Is it buying something? It's got to be clear from that communication. Now, ideally, I would love to have people come in here and ask questions about what they're doing, but I know that's not the way the world works. So somebody will see this later and contact me later. That's great. That's why I do it. The goal is to have you contact me. I would love to talk about these things, and I'll give you a call where we can go over what you got. No sales, no BS. Just book a call in there. I'll put the link in the chat later. But that's something that you can't do anything without a conversation. So what is it? What is that? What's the compelling reason? What are you doing to clarify your message? That's the word I'm looking for. Clarify. The next thing is take out all the wishy-washy language in your message and get to it. I call it turning 8 into 3. So take the 8 words you're about to tell me and turn it into 3. Shorten it, condense it, get it going. Make it as simple as possible. Then amplify it. Take the most important thing and make sure that's the last part of every sentence in your communication. And that will double or triple the impact right there. So those 3 things, creating curiosity, relevance, and specificity around clarify, amplify, simplify, those 6 words right there, and you're golden with connecting with people. You're golden with having many people who want to know more about what you do, and you're golden with coming up with ideas that people go, "Ooh, that's interesting. Let me hear more about that." That would be wonderful. So, and if you want to know more about that, you can come on in, or you can put a question in there. I'll answer it for you. Happy to do that. Book a 15-minute call. We'll go over the messaging you're using, and I'll show you what to do with it. But you've got to have a growth mindset. You've got to realize that it's okay to fail doing this on the way to getting good, because every inch makes you better. Every inch makes you better. And the difference between being overwhelmed and being on track is someone who's overwhelmed has lost hope. And hope is simply the next step. So I want to take, if you're overwhelmed, come on in, and I'll show you a quick path to, well, I'll show you the next step. Hope is just the next step. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. What else do people say that, when they get up and they go, I'm really nervous today. Well, great. That makes me feel good about hiring you. If you're really nervous, talking about what you do for a living. So don't do that. Don't waste time about the weather. Don't make it just little small talk that doesn't work. Create a genuine conversation, just like a friend would. Make a statement, not a question. In retail, if you work in retail, if you work in retail and work in commission, here's a quick, you can add 10 to 20% in your sales today by dropping one question. And the question is, can I help you? Because if you say, can I help you? Here's the answer you get. Nope, I'm just looking. 99% of the time, that's the answer you get. And then the second you walk away, they look around like, well, where is that person? I have questions now. If you asked and made a statement with that, and you just walked up, they're looking at something, say, I'll let you buy that. Oh, I bet you would. But while you're here, let me ask you a question. That's how conversations start. Statements, not questions. Confidence, comfort. You know what you're doing. They will buy into that. So there's some, become acceptably unusual. Do not do the things you see everybody else do. Do not begin emails with, I hope this finds you well. Your friends don't do that. They said, God darn, remember that time we did this, but that gosh darn is a statement. So they will make some form of statement. So there is a quick 20 minutes on some ideas to help you network better. Nobody's comfortable networking, but if they wear something really nice, they wore it for you to notice that. If you see somebody in a suit that's bright and colorful, they didn't pick that out to go, God, I hope nobody notices me. They do that for a reason. So make a statement about what you see, and everybody lights up. If you see a really nice pair of shoes, or a pair of shoes you really like, and you talk about, man, those shoes, if you're talking to the kids, those shoes, they slap, right? And they will have like, oh my God. If you comment on somebody's shoes, you get one of two answers. You get either who made them or how much they cost. So, wow, those are great shoes. These, Jimmy Choo. Or these, Walmart, $6. They're proud of what they spent to get there. They're proud of the status. They're proud of the savings, whatever it is. And they want to talk about, oh, look at you. You noticed I did this. Thank you so much. That was worth getting ready today. And those little statements are what friends do for people. And those are the statements that make you feel as if you're a friend, because it's not, and people, when I talk about this, people sometimes go like, well, is that manipulation, Ray? No, it's not. Because if I can take what's in my head and put it in yours, and I've done this from Little League on, everybody that's around me for any length of time sells more stuff. And every industry I've been in, every non-industry I've been in, every contest I've been in, every Little League sales thing, that happens. So I must have something to do with it. And I can show you what is that. And so if I take that, what's inside me, and I give that to you, your sales go up, you make more money, your life is better. So uh, my intention on this is to make your life better and easier. Because if I make your life better and easier, you'll make my life better and easier. So the intention is on the other person. Manipulation is the intention is solely based for me. I'm only doing this to make my life better. And I always forget about those things that are built into a Mac. So there, yeah, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate making your life better. And where that answer that I just gave you came from is from Dr. Robert Cialdini. I heard somebody ask him that on a call, and he said it's the intention of the speaker. So the process of influence and manipulation is the same. So it's good to know what it looks like coming or going. But the intention of the speaker is whether it's influence or whether it's manipulation. Do you get better because of what I want you to do? And if I can get more people to listen to me to sell things, and what they'll do, especially with speakers and coaches that love to speak and coach but hate to sell, you will be more comfortable going to everybody to talk to about bringing your message to their company, to their business, which when you bring your message to their business gets better and easier. So it's selfish if you don't share it with them. And the mindset, the growth mindset of, all right, I think I'm salesy now, but how do I get out of that? That's what you got to get rid of. And that's what we can do. So come on in, reach out to me, send me a direct message. Let's talk about this. Quick 20 minutes on that. And I got another call I got to go to, but I will see you next week. If you are a coach or speaker that think that your business works well with coach or speakers, I would also love to have you as a guest on this thing. So direct message me there. We do it every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I'd be happy to have you on, and you can talk about the great things that you do. And we will come on in and have a wonderful little live stream together. All right. That's it for this week. I will see you next week. Thanks so much.